Hi, this is Wilna, and with this little video I want to explain to you how to bind these little mini albums that's on sale on iHeartStudio. I absolutely love Starbucks, and a couple of years ago I created a mini album with a cup, and I posted it online, and it was just so popular, and people everywhere just wanted to know how did I make it. And so I came up with making the pages and creating little editions. So there's a couple editions out, and I will add some more to iHeartStudio later on. So I custom made pages that you can download and print and bind it into a little mini album. And basically what I did is I did all the work for you, so you can just add your pictures and your journaling and literally can have a little mini album within an hour, all done. So if you're in a crash for a gift or a Mother's Day gift or a Father's Day gift, birthday gift, you can do it. Every file mini album has a PDF that you can download and print, and also the PNG file. So if you know Photoshop, you can add your photos to it and then print it. And this was the original coffee and cupcake album that I made. And there's only 6 pages. So if you want to have more pages, you can add more paper to it and just make it pretty. So here's how it looks once you've printed it on white cardstock. And I created a silhouette file, cut file, so that you can cut it out. And I just want to show you quickly, if you want to cut it out, you put your 8.5 by 11 right there where I put mine, and you just cut it out. So the file works with that. But if you print it, you have to scale it, the PDF, to 102%. And I will show you quickly where to do that. So you will open your zip file and download it. And then it will open a folder, and it will have all these files in it. So click on the My Garden Album PDF, and it will open all the PDF files. So now you can just click print and select your printer. I'm going to select my Epson, and then here where it says scale, you're just going to type in 102, or I think if you maybe just want to make double sure it cuts, the silhouette cuts the edges and there's no white left, make it 105%, and then you can print it. So then it will just enlarge the image a little bit, so when you print with your silhouette and cut it out, the image will be a little larger than the print or the cut file, sorry. So then you won't have white edges. So that's just if you are going to use the silhouette to cut out. And the file is available for download, and it's linked, it's a free link under the product description. And here you can see how easy it is to cut it out with the silhouette. And because I'm inherently super lazy, that's the way I did it. So I'm going to show you how you want to add the little pieces of the album together. Now, assuming that you've finished it completely, you've added your pictures, your journaling and everything, you want to take each little page and fold it in half very carefully. And then you have to pick which ones go together, and you're going to adhere them back to back. So you see I folded inside out, so it makes a perfect little fold. And then I'm going to fold that one back, and I'm going to add double-sided tape and literally do it side for side. And this is just through experience that I've come to know that this is really the best way to adhere little pages together. This way also you won't have bubbles in your page, and it won't buckle. So you can see I added 3 strips, and I'm gonna adhere the one part together. Like that. And now I'm going to open it, and I'm going to adhere another 2 strips and just fold it from the middle where the fold is to the outside. See, I'm going to fold it over from the fold to the outside. And that way you'll have a beautiful folded page. You'll see it makes a little riff in the middle, but that's perfect. So this is after you've added your photos, your journaling and everything together. And now if there's a little white border, you can trim it just with scissors. That's not the end of the world. Or you can cover it with washi tape. There's so many ways you can finish these little albums. So just to show you again, you fold it in half, you line them up, and then you add double-sided tape. Not as clumsy as I do here. And you line them up and you straighten them out so that they adhere together. And now you open it up, you put another 2 pieces there, and you fold it from the inside out, from the middle where the fold is to the outside. And again, you can see the little bubble is perfectly in the middle, which is super fine. And if you fold it back, and that's why you shouldn't just put 2 pieces of double-sided tape. I suggest you put a couple more, and that way they will be really binded together. So now you have, in the end, you're going to have 4 of these little booklets, and 2 of them are going to be from pattern paper or anything that fits with the theme. And now I'm going to just bind them, and I want to show you what to do. Now, I think the best type of book binding tape is a cloth based one, and you can find them in art stores, and I'm not even sure if Michael stocks them. I'll have a look, but I didn't have any here. You can use washi tape. And so the first thing you want to do is you are going to stick it together. What I did wrong there in retrospect is it shouldn't be that close together. There should be at least a millimeter or 2 or 3 millimeters space between the 2 different sets of pages. Then you know you're doing it right. So you can see it folds well, it turns well, and it looks really pretty. So that's the way you do it. And then when I'm done, I'll show you how to bind the 2 different pieces together and where you want to stitch it down on your cover. Right, I'm using a tall Starbucks cup, and the first thing you want to do is you want to roll up the rim. And in Canada we have good practice with that, because every spring Tim Hortons comes out with roll up the rim, where you have to roll up the rim of a cup like that and you can win prizes. So that's the first thing you want to do, and then you want to punch out the bottom. Now I use just a blunt object, don't use a sharp object, just a blunt thing. And now you want to press it down. You can see I want the little logo in the middle, and just lightly press it down, not as hard as I do there. And you want to cut open the edge. That's going to be the open side of your little album. So I just use scissors and just carefully try to do it as straight as possible, which is not always easy. But again, you know what, this project, you have to practice a lot to get it perfect. So if it's not 100% perfect, just go with the flow. The next thing I want to do is I want to make a spine for the little album. So I'm putting down the open cup, and this is how you make a little spine. So you're going to make a little mark where at the top, in the middle, and at the bottom. And now you just want to take a ruler and connect the dots. So it's going to taper, it's going to be narrower at the bottom than at the top, as you can see there. And then you're going to cut it out. And I use chipboard for it, and that works wonderful. Right, you can see how perfectly that little spine fit in there. And you're going to stitch your inside pages to that spine, and that's why I like to reinforce it. So that's what I want to do. The next thing we want to do is we want to make reinforcements for the two sides, the front and bottom, front and back. Sorry, internet people, sometimes my mind is not focused. So the easiest way to do that is just put it on top of a chipboard, and now you're just going to trace it more or less, and then you can cut it out as neatly as you possibly can. So there's the back side, and then you want to do the front side as well. And when you stick it down, I'll just show you, but I just want to mention it now, is to leave a little space between those three pieces of chipboard. Right, once it's cut out, you're going to place it over, and again, you can trim it off afterwards. And now I'm using tacky glue, and it was such a mission to get it out of the bottle. Just white glue, and just lay it on thick, because you really want to stick it down very well. So put a piece of paper underneath your thing, and then you stick it down and you put your spine, and you can see there's a little space between the two. And now we're almost done. Afterwards, when this is dry, you can use pattern paper and cover those horrible chipboard pieces, so you can make it really pretty. And then what I also did is I stitched around the edges. Now I'm taking wax paper and a very heavy book, and I suggest you leave it overnight, which I didn't do because I was in a hurry to get the video done. But really, leave it overnight. You're not going to be sorry, and your little album is going to be so pretty. So now you have 4 pages and 4 pages, and you want to bind it together so we can stitch it to the spine. Now again, use cloth bookbinding tape. If you are making a lot of mini albums, it's so worth getting a roll. I did have a roll, but mine is totally empty. So I'm using washi just to show you, because clear tape doesn't show well on a video. You can see there's at least 1/2 centimeter open between the two sets of pages, and I suggest you can even make it a little bit bigger, and then just lay down your tape. And if it's cloth tape, it will work so well, because you can stitch through cloth, where sometimes I found that if you use binding tape or sellotape or any type of tape, the stitches tear out after a little while. So cloth tape works well. You can even use white glue and use a piece of fabric. So now you're going to put it on your spine, and right in the middle you can stitch it down either with your machine, or what I would suggest is you take a thick needle, make some holes, like 3 or 4 or 5 holes, and use embroidery floss and just stitch it through. And that way you'll have a little album that will stay together for a long time and be very beautiful. And I did link up the gallery of this album, so you can go and see how I finished mine, and you can see there how I stitched it to the spine. Hopefully this helped you a lot in making your album, and I really hope you enjoy it and enjoy the process. Bye.